I'm going to show you mine. It's,
Well, why don't you?
I think it's on here.
It'll be interesting to see what everybody comes up with.
Come on, please.
Oh, come on, please let this work. All right, let me stop recording. All right, there we go. Hey, Santos, did you hear me, baby?
Yes, I'm typing it right now.
All right, thank you. Today is another easy lesson. I think you guys are really going to do well on the quizzes as well. Sometimes I can kind of gauge how easy a lesson is because I can go back on YouTube and see how many people watch the video. Okay, thank you, Diana. I got your rationale. Thank you for keeping it private too. I was worried that that I didn't say, hey, keep this private. This is just like a little warm-up question while you guys are waiting. While I'm waiting for everybody here, I've got another do now in just a moment. I'm going to solve this one at 8:30. Let's see if we can get more people. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, cool. We've got 4 answers so far. All 4 have been right. You start paying more attention to the chat. Come on. Okay, it is 8:30, the year of our Lord. Let's do this. I'm going to solve this problem really quick. And so far, I've only got 4 answers, but they were all correct. So I'm feeling very pleased. Me gusta, me gusta. So when I'm looking at this question, I see that there's 156 nucleotide sequences here. Let me let these other people in the room. And it says there's 156 sequence. I'm going to take that number 156 and I need to divide that by the number of codons. There are 3 nucleotides in each codon. So I take 156 divided by 3, and that's going to give me what? What is my number? 156 divided by 3. Let me go to Abel. You're first. What is 156 divided by 3? It is 52, sir. You are correct. So this is 52. 52. Now, but the answer is not 52. So remember, we always end with a stop codon. That remember, the stop equals a period. It's like having a period in a sentence. A stop is not an amino acid. So therefore, my correct answer is going to be 51. The answer would be 51. So good job for those of you guys that got that. I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to go to our other do now, and then we'll take our quiz. Oh, just as a reminder, do not, I had several of you guys panicking this weekend. You're like, oh my God, the project is due on Monday, right? And I was like, no, I moved it back 2 days because we missed two class periods. It is due Friday. I do appreciate those of you guys that went ahead and turned it in for me to give you some feedback. It was my pleasure to do so. All right, so let's get up the other. Holy smoke, this is a sensitive mouse today. Okie doke, there you go, have it. You have 3 minutes. Oh, crud, why is it doing that? Get this, get Monis out of the way. All right, 3 minutes. You're definitely going to need a pen today. You're going to need a pen and pencil. When you take the quiz, you're going to want a pen and pencil too. Drop your answer into the chat. Drop your answer into the chat. Oh, we just try to get the class built that way. Oh, no. You got it. I can see it. You got it. Good. Try to do it within the time frame that is given. You have 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Time is of the essence. Some of you guys are just transcribing. I need you to transcribe and translate. You have to do both. Thank you. I've got one correct answer so far. Excellent. That took good. That took 1 minute and 37 seconds for the first answer to come through. 100% correct. Excellent. So you guys should definitely be able to handle the time given on the quiz today. Now the rest of them are coming in. Now the rest of them are coming in. You have to transcribe and translate. Something I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you guys that have transcribed but not translated. Remember, transcribe is going from DNA to RNA. Translate is going from RNA to protein. So you need the amino acid sequence as well. You need both. You still have time. Try to do it as fast as you can. Okay, there's 4 of you guys that have it in. Thank you. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. See if we can get 5 or 6. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. I've got 5. Keep it up, keep it up. Come on. Oh, 6. Come on, maybe we can get 7. Gavin got the, Ashmeet and Randy. God, okay, we ended up with 10. Jesus. That was tough, man. Ah! That was stressful too. Crap, you're tripping me out, folks. All right, then there's still some answers coming through, it looks like in the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and work it out for you guys. So how we do this? So thymine is going to go to adenine. Adenine is going to go to uracil. Remember, we're dropping the T. We're dropping thymine and adding uracil. So U, G, G, A, C, C, G, C, U, G, C, U, G, A. I like to go ahead and you do this, use this method. So in a moment when you're taking the quiz and you have to do this, you may want to do this as well. I know AUG, without even having to look for it, is my start codon. So that is methionine. So I'm going to just hyphenate and put met, UGG, UGG, tryptophan, TRY dot AAC, AAC, ASP. If you're chatting with me, go ahead and just say something while I'm working this out. CGC, ARG, UGC, UGC, cyst, and then UGA, I know is stop. Done. Doesn't take long to do. It's really pretty straightforward. Let me go to the chat, see what people are saying here. Okay, yeah, more correct answers, more correct answers. Thank you. Yeah, and you guys got them right too. So we ended up with 14 of you guys. Excellent. There was a lot more of you guys that just transcribed. And if I had to go backwards to DNA, I can do that as well. So up here, if I had to, because this is oh, this is already DNA. Sorry, this is already DNA. Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to UGA, so I go UGA. There's stop. UGA. Encoding right there. That one. The question was, where did I get stop? And that's where I got it. Okay, so I'm going to go open up the quiz. You need to go to Schoology. Schoology is the place that you want to be. Go to today's lesson. It's the dated, and it's going to be March 1st. I'll see if I can beat you there. Yep. The quiz is published. I will start teaching the class at 8:49. So I think you have 9 minutes for this quiz, if I'm not mistaken. You should be able to see it. Yeah, no, there's 6 minutes, so it's a shorter quiz. You're going to have to hustle. There's not going to be any fooling around, but I'll still start at 8:49 to give everybody time to get there. Do not start it until you have your pen ready to take it. Does anybody need a pen in here? I got an extra pen. You can do whatever you got to do to write on, but I'm just saying. I don't even know what that is. No, don't worry about it. Gonna have to be fast. Have you already started? Go fast. Do not open it until you have paper and pen to write. Yeah, I was saying that I thought it was 9 too until I opened it and I was like, no, it's 6 minutes. You should have been able to see a countdown for it. I thought I had more questions. I thought I had 6 questions and not 4. There were only 4 questions. If it were 6 questions, it would have been 9 minutes. I'm sorry if you didn't see the countdown. I have a retake tomorrow for this. Today is or just as a reminder, is a retake for replication. You do have to be present to win. So you do need to come at 3:15 if you're going to retake it. Looks like most of you guys have taken it. There's only 7 people still taking the quiz. The question is, what is a mutation in your own words? Drop it into the chat. Drop it into the chat. What is a mutation? Just in your own words. And chat it out for everybody to see. What is a mutation? What would you think of a mutation? Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good one. I like that, Santos. It does give us variation. That's interesting. A shift and change in the sequence. Okay. A mutation is some of an organism's DNA is made by mistake. So it's a mistake. Mutation is genetic change in DNA. Excellent. Lots of ideas. Keep them coming. We still have 20 seconds before we begin. See what else we can get in there. Get your brain in the right spot. Yeah, to everyone. Some of you guys are sending them just to me, to everyone. Go ahead and publish it to everyone. You're sending them just to me. Okay. All right. So what is a mutation? Well, that's a kind of a loaded question. When we're thinking about genes, a lot of you guys are spot on. So it's going to be a change in the sequence. We're going to do this in 2 parts. Do this today, and then again on Wednesday. We'll finish this before we finish with our quarter projects for the week. So what changed with these 3 characters? Many of you guys are comic hero, Marvel, DC fans. So what changed with these 3 characters? Okay, you guys apparently do know who these people are. Okay, so Wolverine got some sort of iron or steel, got metallic bones. I don't know who this blue guy is. I'm assuming this is blue and not purple, but he's got 3, somebody said he's got 3 fingers. And it appears as though he has a tail as well, but I'm not sure if that's a tail or that's his other hand over here. But they do look different, right? I mean, you can see that they look different, but not only do they look different, they probably have different powers as well. While mutations can actually do this as well, give us new powers necessarily, where we can grow metal. I mean, we understand metal isn't protein, and DNA goes to DNA, which gives us proteins. So this is not going to necessarily be the perfect example. It kind of gives you the idea that something changed. And Ali put that on there. If I had to put it in a word, he said it would be change. This is a very cool idea here. All traits are the result of a mutation at some point in history. This fact possesses grandeur. These are some of my favorite organisms, and I find them to be extremely beautiful. I spend a large a proportion of my time looking for some of these very organisms. This is a little bitty rattlesnake right here that you can only find in 2 states in Mexico, and it's absolutely a stunning animal. And I love to go and look for it. And I can't wait to get back down there to see it again. Haven't seen one since 2008. But even if you think about this, everyone you've ever loved has traits, and every trait is a result of a mutation. So you would not even have love if you did not have traits. You wouldn't be an organism if you hadn't had a trait. And if you didn't have if there was a mutation hadn't occurred, you wouldn't even be an organism and never have had the sensation of feeling love. So mutations are something that are extremely amazing in any which way you look at them. How we're actually going to define this is this way. Mutations create new alleles that provide a basis for evolution. They are the ultimate source of genetic information. But the actual definition would be any change in an organism's genome. The entire genome, your entire set of DNA is called your genome. That's the entire sequence. So this would be the definition. They are the ultimate source of variation. We can also get variation through sex, but we don't get that variation until there was a mutation to give us a new allele in the first place. They give us new alleles to play with. They give us new pieces to a puzzle. They give us new Lego pieces. They give us something new to which we can change an outcome. They're really fundamental to everything that you've ever done, because you wouldn't have any ideas, because you wouldn't have a brain had there not been a mutation in the first place. Okay, now, what do you think about a point mutation? What do you think a point mutation is? And don't look it up. Think. I want you to think. I mean, it's easy. Look up a point mutation. It's not going to impress me if you give me the actual definition. Not that you're thinking about impressing anybody, but what I want you to do is try to think so you activate your neurons. What do you think if a mutation is any change in a genome, what do you think a point mutation is? Okay. How to get your mind in the right. Oh, excellent. Hey, Monis, can you put that out there for everybody? Okay, Gavin, put that out for everybody. Why are you sending it to me? Put it out there. Kimberly, you're even more direct than anybody else. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Monis. Go ahead, everybody that has sent me an answer, make sure it's for everyone. George hit the nail on the head. Kimberly hit the nail on the head. Ali, a very specific change there. A lot of you guys were saying one codon. A codon is 3 bases, but a point mutation is going to only be a single base. It can change what that codon does, but when we think about a point mutation, think about one little base. A to T is G to C or something along those lines. So now let's try to think a little more. Which do you think would be more serious, a point mutation or a chromosomal mutation? And share audio. Don't be afraid. If we're going to do better, we've got to share. We want. What would be more consequential?
I think
Go ahead.
I think a chromosomal mutation would be more serious, because a point mutation could just, well, if you look at the chart of what amino acids are made by different codons, a lot of them are, like, a lot of the same codons can be formed by very similar, only 1 letter changes. So a point mutation might not even make a difference at all in what amino acid is made.
Yeah, exactly. So the homework that I had given you guys, if you had, how many different codons can you get for tryptophan? Like, there are several codons that gave you tryptophan. So even if you had a point mutation, you might not may change the amino acid, and that's what's going to make a difference anyway. But also, if you have a well, let's just put it this way. How about this? Get this number. You're going to need a calculator. You can use your phone. Try to do it this way. Try to think about it in slightly different terms. Holy crap, nobody solved it that fast. Oh, cool. Diana Santos also said chromosomal because it affects multiple genes, and chromosomal is most likely to have, chromosomes have more than one base. So if there's more than one base, I didn't check the chat, then there's going to be a bigger consequence. Yeah, those are very good points. Let's think about this for a second. See if you can solve this problem. I haven't solved this problem yet. Let me solve it. Jesus. Huh. Excellent. So Keaton decided he's going to text the answer out to everybody. Thank you, Keaton. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward question, right? So if we've got 44 chromosomes, if I've got 44 chromosomes, the question, this little prompt is really not asking about 44 of these autosomal chromosomes. They're just talking about one gene. So we got 450 genes on a chromosome, right? On a chromosome. And there are 500 base pairs per gene. Just hypothetical. This is not necessarily true, but we're just saying possibly. So how many base pairs, if I were to, delete one of these chromosomes, lose one of these chromosomes, then I'm going to lose all of these genes. If each gene has 500 bases, then I'm going to lose a total of 225,000 bases. So, we could, oh, crud. If I lost that many bases, and this got cut off, if I lost that many bases, it seems like a chromosomal mutation would be far outweigh a point, because a point mutation could only alter one amino acid, or literally one amino acid could be changed, whereas I would lose 225,000 bases here. And remember, you got to divide these by 3 because there's approximately 3. So whatever that number is going to be, we're talking about at this point, tens of thousands of bases are going to have changed. So what is going to be greater? Well, tens of thousands are going to be greater than 1. So yeah, chromosomal mutation is probably going to be a bigger deal. What causes mutation? So many of you guys know I just had surgery. The surgery that I had is probably the result of a couple of different things. I had cancer on my eye. That was a mutation. That was not a good one. Why can't I draw on this right now? Let's see if this will work. There we go. Probably age had something to do with it. Probably age. What do you think the other situation was? What do you think the other possibility probably was? What are some other ideas that probably gave me the cancer I had cut off my eyelid? What do you think the other cause for that mutation was?
I'm assuming you're not going around sticking your head into radiation or chemicals. So, I mean, not chemicals. So it's most likely radiation.
Okay, well, yep, I've been out in sunlight. And let's see what else we had. There were several answers in the chat. Could be passed down from my parents, and I got replication error, and it could be that as well. It could literally be this, and it could be something that I inherited. It could technically be that. So this is directly related to this, right? So if I have a physical mechanical error, the more times, the older I am, the more times I've replicated, the more likely I am to make a mistake. There's a lot of different things here, and it could be that I inherited it too. Now, and if I inherited a mutation, I didn't experience a mutation, but that's a good point, Holly. And I'm looking for something where I changed something that I already had. I could have inherited a deleterious mutation. Now, there's also effects. So there could be a positive effect. So an advantage of this, I mean, think about it this way. You got this, if you have a trait that's just kind of mediocre, and you really want to look, be really attractive to somebody, if all of a sudden you go from fail to bonita, that'd be pretty good, right? So I go from being feo to bonita. I'm going to be happy other than sad, right? So you might all of a sudden attract somebody that you never attracted before, or maybe you become super intelligent and like everything seems to be really, really easy. These could be effects from mutations that confer an advantage. Or if you're an athlete and all of a sudden you're faster, and I think it was Kimberly that texted me an athlete that was able to run 350 miles. Am I right about that, Kimberly? Was it 350 miles this person could run? Yes. Okay. So this guy had a mutation where he had an enzyme that could break down lactate. And he never got lactic acid built up from respiration. It could also be neutral. So you go from having all of a sudden now you've got a freckle that's on your butt. Oh, I've got a mutation that gave me a freckle on my butt. Probably not going to give you much of an advantage. Who cares? It's a freckle on your butt. Your butt shouldn't probably never see the sun, the light of day, right? So if you get a mutation that does that, that's a problem. Now, damaging could be a problem. So that could be like the cancer on my face. It doesn't kill me, but it could give me a problem. Or maybe I could have poor eyesight. Or maybe I had a student that my first year teaching who did not produce collagen, and so their skin didn't stretch. It didn't kill them, but their skin could not stretch, and it really made their life miserable. They were a miserable person because their skin was not stretchable. They would break their skin if they moved too quickly. Literally, if they took off running, their skin would tear. It damaged them a lot, or it could be lethal, and it could like again, cancers will kill you. So today could be, especially the next class, could get a little personal because we're going to look at how these things could really affect us. Now, there's types of mutations. You do really need to know this. You have single base mutations and chromosomes. We have already kind of looked at that, but we're really going to, I'm going to hammer down on these today, and this is going to be Wednesday. So don't worry about chromosomal mutations. And I do have the reading there attached to the agenda on the website as well. Okay, when we deal with single base mutations, we've got two types. There's point and there's frame shift. And this is a really easy thing to do, but you do need to pay attention. This is a skill as much as understanding. So you do need to, and you just took the quiz, you know you've got to be able to do this quickly. You don't have time to sit around and think about it. You need to be able to kind of have muscle memory. That's why I gave you guys several of these practice problems last class. We'll give you several practice problems today as well. So let's practice. What does UAC result in? And then UAA. What is the amino acid that this comes? I will ask a particular person. What is the, thank you. I've already got two answers. Let's go to somebody in particular. So Ollie, you're in first on the Pope is right. UAC is tyrosine. You are correct, sir. So we've got UAC tyrosine. Now, UAU, what is UAU's code for? Do it again. UA. It's still tyrosine, right? This is a silent mutation. It's saying the same thing. You get the same amino acid. There's no difference. So if you have this mutation, it's not going to affect the trait at all. Remember, we're going from DNA, dogma, to RNA, to protein. And protein is what's going to give me, well, crap. Protein is what's going to give me traits. Well, if I get the same amino acid, I'm going to get the same trait. So no effect whatsoever. That's when we call it a silent mutation. There's nothing that's different. Let's try this one. We know what UAC codes for. That's tyrosine. Let's go to another person. What does CAC code for? Thank you, thank you. Lots coming through. Diego Train, CAC. What is CAC code for? Yeah, histidine. Right. So I went from tyrosine to histidine. That's going to be different. It's something that's different. Now, it's missense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make the same sense. So we'll call these missense. And this is just a substitution. I put one thing in for another. I just point mutation. And this was a substitution as well. I put one base in for another. And I get, but in this case, it's tyrosine is went to tyrosine. But if I substituted the first base, and it's often going to be a bigger problem, it's the first base, because if I substitute that first base, I'm going into a whole new quadrant. I'm going into a whole new quadrant. That first base is going to affect which quadrant I'm in this thing. First bases are always going to, not always going to have an effect, but often are going to have an effect. Because I've got guanine, which is say quadrant 1, uracil, which is going to affect quadrant 2. If I change to adenine, that'd be quadrant 3. And if I change to cytosine, that would affect quadrant 4. You're going to get different, if it's at first base, it's often going to have a really amazing effect. Let's try one that's nonsense. Yes, I know. I put the answer in there. There's many of you guys are saying Jesus Pope. The answer's right there. You're right. And I guess I'll just try to be quick. Yeah, if I go from UAC to UAG, it's going to have it's going to have effect for sure, because now I get a period. It's almost like an incomplete sentence. I'm going to stop translation early. There's going to be something that's going to happen, and it's going to just stop. It'd be like an incomplete sentence. It wouldn't make any sense at all. It would be total trash. Let's think about this a little differently. So there's also an insertion or deletion. So these are my frame shifts. This is different. This is different. Frame shifts result in one or two things: an insertion or deletion. So this is going to be adding or deleting a base. This is going to give me an entirely different sequence of amino acids from this point. From this point, everything is going to change. And I'll try to illustrate it in a little slightly easier way to think about it. So read the first sequence to me, Rosales. Read that first sequence. You unmute yourself, by the way. People can hear you. And read that to us. Read that first sequence, the one I have an arrow pointing to.
The cat and dog eat and run.
Yeah, makes sense, right? This totally makes some sense. So I've got this in triplet pair. I've got these in triplet pairs. All right, the cat and dog eat and run. Totally makes sense. There's my sentence. Excellent. Let's see about this one. So I don't know. I don't want to read it. Let's let somebody else read it. Abel, handle this next one. Yeah, read it.
What if the C in cat was changed to an R? The rat and dog eat and run.
Yeah. Okay. What is that a substitution, an insertion, or deletion? This one right here. Is this an insertion, a deletion, or is it a substitution?
Insertion?
I'm sorry?
Insertion?
Where do you see an insertion? Think about it. Really think about it, and then I'll come back. I got three choices: insertion, deletion, or substitution. What is the difference?
Substitution.
Yeah, you're right. It is a substitution.
All it is we substituted C for, no, excuse me, we substituted R for C. R
For C, so we changed that. This is a substitution.
it still makes sense, right? We still get an amino acid, I still get a trait. It's just an amino something a little different. So it's gonna be a very, very separate trait. This would be a deletion. Now, what we did is we changed our reading frame. Let's see if we can get, let's see, Ashley, can you read this? Ashley, you listening to us?
Are you here? Let's see, Ashmi. Oh yeah, you're still here.
Mr. Pope, your audio was like being weird, so maybe whoever you
Oh,
called,
maybe it's not
like
hearing
I
me.
didn't even hear you called on.
Well, okay, I called on Ashmi. Thank you, Dev. What I was asking, and if she can't hear me, I'll ask you. Read this to me. Can you read this?
Oh, do you want me to read it or Ishmi?
Yeah, go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and let
Oh,
you
okay.
hear me.
The ATA NDD OGE ATA and
Oh, you're just spelling.
oh, I thought you wanted me to.
Yeah, but the point is, you can't read it, right? It's
Yeah,
total,
no, you can't. Yeah.
It's total gibberish, right? The
Yeah.
ada, oja, ada, I mean, what the heck is this, right? This results in complete nonsense. You're probably going to hit a stop codon when you did this. All I did is I shift the reading frame. I mean, here is, let's see, OGE. Here's ada. Here's I mean, all I did was just totally shift everything down. We got rid of this and our reading frame shifted to the left. If I had inserted, if I had inserted, the reading frame would have shifted to the right. And then everything downstream would have totally made no sense at that point. So these are usually also, of all my point mutations, frame shifts are going to be the most serious most of the time, depending on what happens there. So basically, mutation is like basketball. Could you please tell us what you mean by that? Somebody put in there, so a mutation is basically like basketball. I have to understand that analogy. Could you give it to us? Hello? Don't be bashful, the person who said it. I mean, you probably have something that would help people. I hope. Oh. It says, so basically, mutations is like basketball. If you need a sub, then sub. If you need a new player, then insert. Then delete, boom, you're gone. I'm not a basketball player, but if somebody's as a basketball fan and that made sense, I'm glad. I don't know. I don't know the game of basketball very easily. Could do that one. Okay, so I'm about to give you some work to practice. I want to do the one for you before we do it. So in a moment, I'm going to actually transcribe and translate this first sequence for you. So let's do this. That's going to be A, U, G, no doubt. That's the start codon. So, oh no, oh. I'm gonna switch this down here and then oh, this thing loves to jump, doesn't it? ACC, so U, G, G, break that apart. T, T, G, A, C, G, C, G, C. It sure likes to jump. Boy, boy. Cool, I know that's stopped. So we know this is met without even having to think about it. That's met, and this is stop. Now, in a moment, when you have yours, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to figure out these sequences. You'll have a codon wheel where you can do it. You'll have a codon wheel, but what you've gotta do is you've gotta find these sequences and then compare. This, you're going to be comparing this sequence. This is the original sequence to the mutated sequence. Now, I can't have you circle. I can't have you circle. I can go over here and I can look though. I'm going to do it here. You won't be able to circle on your handout, but let's see TAC, TAC, that's the same. TAC, TAC. Let's go to the next one. ACC, ATC. Uh-oh, there's my mutation right there. And I'm going to see, is it an insertion or deletion first? Before I do anything else, I just want to see, is it an insertion or deletion? My reading frame is the same. I have the same set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sets of codons. So I know it's got to be a substitution. This has to be a substitution. Will there be, what will be the amino acid sequence? You'll have to write your amino acid sequence here. You would compare it to this one as well. How would it change your amino acid sequence? Will there be an effect? If amino acids change, when you do this, when amino acids change, if amino acids change, then yes. Then yes. What kind of mutation is this? This is a substitution. I know this is a substitution. So if I can spell. That didn't, I can't spell anything today. Substitution. Is a substitution. I replace thymine for cytosine. Remember, it's DNA that mutates, not your codons. DNA mutates, not codons. Okay, I'm gonna stop, go to Schoology, and we've got, we'll go 20 minutes. Let me go to Schoology, Schoology. Everybody wants to go to Schoology. And go away on the ground. Everybody wants to play in the ground. Here's my mutations. Do not do chromosomal mutations. That's the next class. This is mutation practice for today. You will do it in groups. You guys must share your screen when I'm coming through. This is only for practice to get you ready for the quiz that we will have next class. We're going, actually, I want to be next class. I take that back because I got to do chromosomal mutations. There will be no quiz next class, but there'll be one following the next week when we come back from our projects. But you'll open this and you will start. Breakout rooms are going to open. Go for it. 20 minutes, get through as much as you can. Abel, can you not get in, baby? Oh, there you go. All right, here we go. So I see this is Brianna. Hello, beautiful people. Who's going to be the screen share in here? Oh. I can nominate somebody or you guys can choose. You guys, 30 seconds, make a choice. Who's going to share their screen so you guys can walk through these together? You need to talk about these as you do them. Who is going to be the person? Either a volunteer or I will nominate. 15 seconds. Okay, it is Mosadi. I'll be back in a moment. You guys, Mosadi should be sharing his screen.
Okay, so the first one, T and A, right? Or did we have to change it to U?
What is the mRNA sequence?
I think it would be AUG.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I want to give you guys a recommendation here. Yeah, Diana's up there doing the first sequence. Make sure you get the first one because you got to go back and compare all the time. All right, yeah, you're on the road. All right, good. You guys are great. Y'all have any questions for me before I leave?
No.
No,
Okay, play in the street when you're done.
ew, the streets.
Play on the streets, not the screens, baby. Play on the streets, not the screens. KW. Yep, I'm just going in to do them in order. So Caleb, you're the one sharing. Let's see. Can you scroll up a little bit so we can see? I mean, yeah, I just want to be able to see what you're working on. Yeah. I can't see. Oh. UAG. All right, cool. You hit a stop code on, so why even go further? Stop. Done. I mean, at that point, you're done. You're done. That's trash, right? Hit stop. It's like hitting a period. It's like there's a one word in a sentence. That's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to move on to the next person. Let's see. Hello, beautiful people. Oh, good job. You guessed when you hit that stop code on, you realized that you needed to stop. Good job. You did a great job on that one. You probably want to answer the effect. Is there going to be an effect on that? Yes. Yeah, there's going to be effect, right? You don't get a protein anymore. There's no protein. So you just basically lost that trait. What type of mutation is it? Is it a frame shift, an insertion, or deletion? The first one, what is it? Or was this your group? What is this one? This first one? You got it. Good job. Good job, babies. What, baby? I don't know. You should be, you're back in now. Whoa. Go back to the first one. So will there be an effect? What type of mutation is it? You got to know.
Wait, I think I switched up one of the bases here.
Are you able to tell if it's positive, neutral, or negative?
No, just like, is it an insertion, deletion, or substitution? I mean, you're talking about if there's an effect. I'm just looking for a yes or no. I mean, there's no way to know whether it's going to be neutral or positive, really. I mean, we don't know what phenotypic change happens. Oh, we got 10 minutes. Crap, that went fast.
Wait, shouldn't it always be terms of three? Shouldn't it always be terms of three?
It should be, unless there's a deletion or insertion, and then there's something's going to be wrong.
Unless.
So I really want to know this first sequence, right? Once you hit that first sequence, whoever's doing the writing on the first sequence, you hit stop. There's no reason to go any further. You're done. It said stop. So is that insertion or deletion? Well, is it deleting, adding, or subtracting? Okay. It probably, you count them up, see what's up. If they're missing one, it's probably a deletion. Delete, it would be to miss. So on the very first sequence, I just want to know, will there be an effect and what type of mutation is it? You guys concentrate on the first one and knock the whole thing out so that you know what to do with the next one. No, this is just a practice. Grades or quizzes and those things, they'll be done independently. You practice this so that you do well later. You guys, please answer my dadgum question. On the inserted, this mutated DNA sequence 1, on this first scenario, will there be an effect? Yes or no? What type of mutation is it? Frame shift, insertion, or deletion?
There should be an effect, and I believe it's an insertion.
If there was an insertion, the reading frame would shift. Do you have a shift in the reading frame? Do you have more or less or more?
That's a point mutation.
They're all point mutations. All these are point mutations. It's either a frame shift, insertion. Excuse me. If it is a frame shift, it's an insertion deletion. If not, it's a substitution. So what would this one be?
It's a substitution.
The substitution. That first one's a substitution. All right, I'm going to the next group. All right, let's go to Abel. Hello, beautiful people. Oh my God, you guys are on the right track. Are you all in sequence 1? I mean sequence 2 yet? Yeah, well, once you hit stop, that's it. Translation stops. You don't go any further. You're done. So cool. Go to the next one now. Everything else is correct. What's that?
If there's deletion, does that mean there's effect?
If there's a deletion, you have to see if it's going to change the amino acid sequence. Does it change the amino acid sequence? Yeah, well, you're going from this is DNA. That's RNA to this. Well, first you got to get the amino acid sequence. You got to go up and look at the chart, A, B, G, and is there going to be an effect? If the amino acid sequence changes, then yes, there's an effect. But I guarantee you with the deletion or insertion, there's going to be an effect. You're going to shift the reading frame. It's going to totally make it crazy. Oh, beautiful people. Holy smoke, guys. Are you guys able to write on this document or what?
No, it says it won't let me edit it. And when I try to log into my own account, it says access denied. So I'm doing it on my own Google Doc.
You're doing it on what?
I'm doing it on my own Google Doc.
Okay, that's fine. Just do it on your Google Doc. So let's do this first one. Most of the groups are already on sequence 3 or 4, or no, 3. So let's do the first sequence.
Yeah, I'm on the third one as well.
Well, I can't see it though. You're having to do it that way? How do you go back and forth to the codon chart? Johnson and Landry, are you guys having this? Can you guys not alter yours? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop you guys into another group because it'll be a lot more helpful for you guys to get into another group. I'm going to drop you guys into other groups because there's a lot of groups that are making a lot of headway here. So I'm going to bump you guys over there so you can get the help that you need. You guys can jump to other groups. All you got to do is just bounce. There you go. You guys are doing pretty daggone good. I'm glad. Okay. Come on.
What am I supposed to do with this hand, bud?
Nothing. You can't do anything with it. What are you going to do with it? It's just like, was that because of an insertion or deletion? Yeah, just totally screw up the reading frame. Now you got one nucleotide, doesn't do anything. I don't know what the effect's going to be. I really don't. But we know there is going to be an effect. What, baby? What's up? What's up?
I was working on it. I was getting there.
That's okay. You have one too.
Yeah, we did it, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, good. That's what you need. As long you need to be able to do it yourself. You see, this is the last document, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like most people are getting done. You guys are ahead of schedule. We still have 2.5 minutes. It's not a hard transcription and translation mutations aren't hard.
The chart helps.
The chart helps, and no one's ever going to expect you to memorize the chart. They're always going to give you the chart. The next lessons when we come back from spring break, you have to have this in your back pocket. Like you need to be able to do this in your sleep so that you can learn the other things that we have to do, which are tricky, which takes a lot more studying. Like I even will go through and make sure I'm reading everything to make sure that along with you guys to make sure I'm not missing anything. Because sometimes I'll teach it and I'll be like, I just make these assumptions that you know something. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta make sure I do this. And I do it every time I teach it just because I want to make sure I'm not missing something that you need to know. I like that everybody, there's only one absence today. It's awesome. It's just your practice. Just practice. It took a long time for me to make sure I got this document just right so I could put it up here. I spent a lot of time on the weekends trying to troubleshoot what these documents look like for you guys to use them online. It's a pain in the butt. Oh, Liam's here, present. Oh my God, I keep counting you as being remote. It's driving me crazy.
Huh? What? What are you talking about? Smells like ink. Oh man.
See, Liam is there. Science is here, Randy's there. Come on.
Alright, finish. I'm gonna submit it. It'll be a grade, right?
No, it's not going to be a grade.
Oh. Listen to 16 minus 5.
This is what you do to studying, like before you come to class, next class, open this document, go over this document, look at the video, pay attention to these things. And then when you come back, you'll be killing it.
Oh.
What, baby?
How many questions on the exam?
All right, so here we go. Exit ticket time. Oh, you got picked up. To practice. I'm really going to treat this class more and more like a college level course. Very little homework in college. It's mostly going to be studying and.
Dang, maybe I'll go to college after all.
Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, this is not for a grade. What you were doing was just practice. Drop your answers into the chat. And then as soon as you give me your 3 answers to this exit ticket, you can split. It says name on paper, but obviously your name is on the chat.
Do you want it private or public?
Private. Thank you. I'll clean your desk. Just drop your 3 little words. I don't know. Thank you.
That's like the most unnecessary piece. It's an observation. Is this touchscreen? Why would it be touchscreen? They can do this. They give like the cheapest computer. Actually, they're like $300. That's cheap. For a laptop?
Thank you.
Maybe we're spending $1,000 on brand. Almost in $1,000, $700.
I'll go back to the notes.
Well, but that was because you got it like way after.
I haven't got anything from you guys. The kids, extra tickets for you guys too. I've got tons from the kids in at home. There's 3. I'll clean this for you, but you got seconds at this point. You got to drop. You got to drop. You got to drop. I'm just waiting on their exit ticket. I'll come back and check the chat. I'm in a clean desk. Thank you for getting that. Thank you, Randy.
All right, we're done.
Hey. Secret star nuts, a million.
What's the deal?
Bro.
How are you doing, kiddo? Did your Viva okay yet? Who was your mentor? Ooh, what'd you guys discuss? What was your extended essay about? Oh, I talked to him about you. With Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I talked to him about you. That's been like the point of our discussions for the past week and a half. Probably. It's like our extended essay. I miss the days where I'd run into you at Starbucks. Those days are over, but they're coming back. They're coming back soon. Sometime soon. What's up, Elrod? Rodell, what's up? How you doing? All right, kids. I'll check the chat box in a second. You guys can split whenever you're done.
Bye, Mr. Poe.
Come on.
Bye.
Bye, baby. Be good. Thank you.
Bye, Mr. Poe.
All right, bye-bye.
You had a vaccine yet?
Nope. Am I gonna get it? Nope.
Huh?
I'm over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting in line.
Oh, yeah, you heard about it. I just heard it. Well, that's fine. What are you doing? Oh, okay, bye.
Let's see, aren't they good?
Good.